Welcome to this video on image transfer techniques. The technique we're going to look at, we're going to experiment with a few different surfaces, one of which I've tried before. The other three are a bit of a mystery and didn't realise it when I started, but I was in for some big surprises, and the outcomes really do offer a load of possibilities for future projects. I hope they do for you too. Let's get into it. So here's the image we're going to try and transfer onto a few different surfaces today. Now this is a very much an experimental video. The technique I've done before, but some of these surfaces I've not tried. I've intentionally made an image that has got a lot of detail and also a lot of tonal variation. You can see here we've got some flat tone, some stippled mark making, some solid black line work. There's a good range in there to really test this technique. Now, I nearly forgot to mention that the essential part of this process is the surface you print your image onto. It needs to be onto the waxy side of label backing paper. Once all the labels have been used, save the backing sheet, print on it. And then the other equally essential detail is that you need to do it with a laser printer, not an inkjet. Okay, so the laser printer. Alright, so let's get on with the first surface, which is going to be some coated vinyl from an old LP. Okay, so I think it's going to look good about there. So if you've never tried this before, you don't need a lot equipment wise, but you are going to need some acrylic gel medium and a brush and something like an old store card or whatever to smooth out your transfer paper. You'll see in a second. So first step, get some gel medium applied to the surface in a nice thin coat. Okay, my coat of gel medium is applied, so I'm just going to lower that image down gently onto the surface. Use my hands first just to try and make sure, particularly where the image is, it's making good contact. Now, using my store card, I'm going to just scrape out from the centre. And I'm aiming here to get rid of any wrinkles. Kind of get rid of a bit of your excess as you scrape. Okay, I think that's quite wrinkle free. Just hold it up to the light. You can see actually now I've held it up to the light, there are a few wrinkles there, which I want to avoid, because even if the image transfers, the gel medium will dry in little ridges on the surface. Every time I turn it, I see more wrinkles. This surface I'm really not sure about. Obviously I've spray painted the vinyl. It should give me some grip. Right, next up some watercolour paper. It's got a bit of tooth in it, you know, a bit of texture. I wonder how it will take. Okay, immediately tell the difference here, because obviously the paper's bowing a little, but it's drying so fast. The acrylic, the watercolour paper is just drinking the moisture out of that gel medium. So I'll be nice and quick. Get that on there. Get my little store card. Brought some tissue with me this time. Try and get these wrinkles out. Okay, I've got some fairly major wrinkles there that I can't get rid of. I think it's going to be a problem with this surface if it's not primed, if it's not sealed. The paper just absorbs that gel medium so fast. You know, you can see here that image is just not going to take. So I think yes, I'll try again, but I might seal the paper first, maybe with some gesso or some acrylic. Yeah, you live and learn. Okay, wood is a surface I've transferred onto before, and it's usually pretty reliable. This is a piece of ply, it's nice and smooth, it should have no trouble, but I am going to have to be mindful that, just like with the watercolour paper, wood is quite porous. It's going to start soaking and drinking up this gel medium really quick. So I'm going to try and do this one a little faster. Make sure I've covered my surface. And get the transfer on there as quick as I can. Don't need a hair in it. Right, let's have a look. Still moving quite nicely on the surface, so it is quite wet. I think this is definitely going to be easier to work with than the paper. Okay, let's get it on there. Not too bad, a few wrinkles, but I think we'll get away with that one. Right, this one, I've no idea how it's going to behave. It's non-porous, it's acrylic perspex. Not only is it non-porous, it's got a really high gloss, smooth surface, so not much for the gel medium to grip onto. Certainly, I'm going to leave them all overnight to dry, but this one is going to need at least overnight, I think, to dry. Okay, really nice surface to paint onto though. Okay, the acrylic sheet, really nice surface to apply onto, but you can kind of get the feeling that you're scraping all the glue, all the gel medium, straight out from underneath. A few wrinkles starting to come now. I think I'm going to leave it there. As I said, this is an experiment. I'm not really after a masterpiece or anything. It's just playing around. See what potential these surfaces might have. Okay. See you in 24 hours. Morning. Well, I'm up to walk the dogs, but set the alarm a few minutes early just to peel back some of these transfer papers. I'm like a kid at Christmas. I couldn't wait till after work. Right, I'm not holding a lot of hope for this one. This is the acrylic, but you never know. Life is full of surprises. Wow, better than I thought it would be. Oh yeah, that actually looks really, really good. I'm going to have to seal it with a spray varnish, but, and I've got a bit of a kind of, I don't know what you call it, like a tide mark or something from where the gel medium is spilled over the edge. But that actually looks, that's transferred beautifully. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. Right, next one. This is the one I had a bad feeling about at the time. Obviously I've done it on paper. Truth be told, I could actually just have printed it because this paper would go through a printer. And this one that I didn't, yeah, it's missed a few bits, but a lot better. Yeah, that's the bit I thought would be bad, and I think the gel medium had just dried too much. If I'd have done this quicker, maybe it would have looked alright. But again, that is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, and gives me a lot of good ideas for working over collage and things like that. So, pleased with that. Right, let's have a look at the woods. This is the technique. You know, I've done transfers onto this surface quite a few times before, so I'm thinking this is the one that will end up being really bad, right? Lost a bit of ink here. Oh yeah, lost quite a bit. Well, there you go, look. But I quite like the breaks here and there. Do you know what I mean? Who wants perfection? Right then. And finally, the one on the vinyl. Let's have a look. Oh dear. The page is ripping already. Again, it's not taken everywhere, but it's not too bad. Go from this end. A bit stuck. Gonna have to clean that edge up. Look. Okay, that is pretty good as well. I only lost a tiny bit of time there. Again, not bad. Look, that I'm pretty chuffed with those results, particularly on the acrylic, because that's going to give me loads of ideas of things I could do, you know, projects I could do next. Right, there you go. If you found this useful, please like, share, subscribe. I'm off now to work, but fresh with lots of ideas for things to try with some of the results of this experiment. Take it easy.